a Facebook scam that's going around. Do you remember? We've talked several times on this show about the importance of the power of discernment.
Oh, yeah, agreed.
And we've chucked the I Grew Up in Idaho Facebook page under the bus.
Yes.
Because like every I Grew Up in blank state page, it's adminned by and moderated by people from China who are selling you these bullshit pieces of AI art on t-shirts, mugs, and quilts for some odd reason.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why quilts are so popular.
All with the same story about their autistic son.
Right,
It's complete bullshit. Anyway, there's a new scam going around. So this specific example was about Paul Richard leather products, and they had a line of bags.
Okay.
So you would see an AI piece of artwork and a real touching, heartfelt, heartwarming story about the history of this leather bag maker.
Okay.
And you
Probably
would
written by ChatGPT.
probably. And so AI photo, AI description, link to a legit looking website where, after 47 years, this family business is going out of business and you can own a piece of history and receive these fine leather
Goods.
articles of, So you'll see these leather bags that are some outrageous price, like $700.
Right.
But because they're going out of
Which for a
business,
leather bag is not necessarily outrageous.
not necessarily, right?
Yeah.
Especially for a high quality handmade one.
Right.
And you've just read the story and seen the rugged leather worker in his shop.
Right.
And then you'll see it marked down to $200 or whatever.
Okay, which is very reasonable for an all leather item.
But then you reverse image search that exact bag and you can get it on Alibaba for like $30.
Right.
See what they're doing there?
Yep.
Wild. And I think we're going to see more and more of these, and we're going to see them looking more and more real.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So the whole thing that blew my mind is, think of, okay, let's go back 10 years for a safety zone before, China, cheap Chinese products. When our very first episode, I think I bitched about this desk because I couldn't find a reputable brand of desk maker. I had to buy this same desk that's here in the studio twice.
Yep.
Cannibalize the old one for parts to make a sturdier desk.
Yes.
Okay, because all of the products on Amazon were made by
Schwettenlanger.
a cat stepped on my keyboard brand.
Yeah, right. Or Xylex.
Yeah.
Yeah, some
looking
weird
for
like
a
that.
comb.
Yeah.
I couldn't find an Ace comb. They're probably out of business by now because how hard is it to do plastic mold injection?
Yeah, it's really not that hard.
Yeah. I mean, didn't we make those in high school shop class once?
Oh, that's kind of cool.
But all I'm saying is brands who have spent decades, Nike, Sony, M&M Mars, Kellogg's, developing their brand and spending millions of dollars in marketing are now, you think you're buying this little boutique-y thing from this fine family-owned leather craftsman in I don't know where, let's say Northern Italy somewhere.
Right.
Soon, brand names aren't going to matter, but then we have to come back around to they've got to matter because they've got to have some sort of quality assurance because too many people, this can't last forever, right?
That's kind of my hope.
We're in this weird, wild, wild west. Not
of
knowing
crappy products and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think here's the thing. It sort of depends on the product, whether or not it matters. A comb, frankly, it doesn't matter.
Right.
If you get a comb from the Dollar Tree, it will work just as well as a $10 one from Sally's Beauty. It just will.
Yep.
Maybe it'll last longer. Maybe if you're a beautician and you've got an actual, day-to-day usage of it where it needs to last a certain amount, then that's different. But for the average man, just combing his hair once a day, a cheap-ass comb will last him his entire lifetime, basically, But then there are things like a good coat, sturdy boots, things like that, where you do want to go with the brand names and you do want to invest in the piece because that's something that you can use for a longer time that's going to give you a better quality experience,
Very well said.
But I guess at the end of the day, it's all about determining where you actually need the quality experience versus where you can, not worry as much.
And I would say the solution to this is just go to the brick and mortar locations. But as those are diminishing,
Right.
you want me to fly to Vegas to buy a, I don't know, Tempur-Pedic bed or whatever?
Yeah, something crazy
Come
like that.
on.